Before we begin, viewer discretion is strongly advised. The following is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is the verbatim federal courtroom testimony of the Sean Diddy Combs trial, as reported by Inner City Press. The tension in the federal courthouse clung to every surface, like July humidity. Too thick to ignore, too hot to breathe. Reporters muttered over half-written headlines. Jurors stared at the oak doors, half hoping they would never budge. For days, prosecutors had teased a witness no one could identify, yet even the wildest guesses missed the mark. When the doors finally creaked, the entire room seemed to tilt. Britney Spears stepped inside. She wore a simple black blazer, no entourage, no smile, just a folder the color of sun-bleached bone, clutched as if it might dissolve. Sean Diddy Combs caught sight of her and froze, a whispered sentence to his attorney hanging midair. His defense team traded panicked looks. Britney didn't acknowledge them. She headed straight for the witness stand, heels clicking steady as a metronome. Gone was the glitter-coated icon of early 2000s pop. What took her place was a survivor, eyes sharp with purpose. She took a breath so deep it rattled the rafters and spoke. "I was told to stay quiet my entire life. I'm finished doing that." Silence detonated. Camera shutters quit stuttering. Pens hovered mid-stroke, and cell phones vibrated unanswered in slack hands. Britney swept the courtroom with a gaze cleansed of sedation's fog, then fixed on the defendant. Diddy's eyes dropped. That single flinch told the jury everything. Britney began weaving a story that sounded too baroque to be real, until you saw the scars hidden in plain sight. The first thread led back to September 8th, 2007, the night before the MTV Video Music Awards. They said it would be a small gathering, she recalled, voice steadying. Drinks, laughter. Nothing wild. They promised I'd be safe. Pure nightclub glimmered inside Caesar's palace that night. Camera flashes reflecting off gold banisters. Celebrities toasted comebacks. Cassie's 21st birthday trended on side stage, and Diddy prowled the floor like a king checking his moat. Britney remembered the flute glass Diddy pressed into her palm. Bubbly, innocent. She tasted once, twice. Then memory fractured. Vision swam. Laughter warped. A handler ushered her behind velvet curtains, and Diddy's voice drifted through the dark. "She's good." Blackout. Morning crashed in with desert sunlight. Her limbs felt sandbagged, head fogged, yet a voice in her skull barked. "Dance tonight, Push." When the show began, Push failed spectacularly. On stage, she froze, out of sync, eyes vacant beneath Klieg lights. The press crucified her within hours. The world called it a meltdown. Under oath, she called it sabotage. "They scripted my collapse," she said. And he, a glance toward Diddy, executed it. Jurors leaned forward, disturbed. The nightclub, she argued, was a ritualistic ambush. Lou Taylor, Robin Greenhill, TriStar executives, faces she barely recognized then, now infamous in fresh lawsuits. Robin shepherded her into the lounge moments before the blackout. Lou appeared later, syrup-voiced, offering structure. Even back then, Britney said, the conservatorship blueprint sat in Lou's briefcase, waiting for a trigger. Weeks blurred into psychiatric assessments she never requested, legal drafts she never read, centers she never chose. "I was shuffled like cargo through wellness facilities," she told the jury. Every signature stripped another layer of autonomy, until conservatorship tattooed itself across her life. Lou Taylor had once shared corporate corridors with Diddy, Britney revealed, waving a Hollywood Reporter screen cap, linking their firms. Defense objected, overruled, point scored. Her voice deepened. "They called Robin an accountant," she sighed. "But accountants don't funnel hush money to victims." She described a Caribbean retreat that felt more like exile, a Malibu house wired with cameras, even the bathroom mirror. Guards pocketed her phone nightly. Should she Google her own name too often? An iPad vanished for mental health. Drug regimens slurred her speech. Memory gaps yawned so wide she forgot her son's birthdays. "They told the world I was spiraling," she said, while they spun the wheel. She recalled rehearsal footage from VMA weekend, her whispering, "Something's wrong," before breaking down. That clip, she testified, mutated into court evidence to justify the conservatorship. Even more chilling, raw video from the nightclub existed, whistle blown by a TriStar staffer. It showed her drinking the flute, stumbling, then being let off frame. Proof she was incapacitated, not drunk. TriStar labeled such files insurance reels and stored them like trophies. Diddy, she alleged, held the master key. Britney pivoted to finances. Hundreds of thousands siphoned from her estate into TriStar accounts. Email CCing Diddy's financial advisor. "Ask yourselves why my money needed a middleman who toasted my downfall," she challenged. Jurors scribbled. Reporters typed like possessed. Diddy's shoulders curled inward. Cross-examination tried to drown her in tabloid headlines. She met each with receipts, toxicology screens clean as snowfall, itemized phone logs proving Diddy called Lou Taylor hours after the VMAs. When counsel hinted she'd profit from the spectacle, she lifted a hand. I turned down interviews offering millions. Perjury scares me less than silence. During a recess, technicians rolled in monitors. Prosecutors played footage seized from TriStar's cloud. Britney pacing a Malibu bedroom at 3 a.m. Staff administering pills. Surveillance in a supposed sanctuary. The prosecutor asked, who paid for these cameras? She named a security firm contracted by her father, bankrolled through a TriStar subsidiary seeded with Combs venture cash. The domino path glowed neon. Outside, social media detonated. Hashtag Britney break silence. Hashtag Diddy exposed, trending across time zones. Fan accounts zoomed in on courtroom sketches. Diddy staring at the table. Robin's clenched jaw. Lou's empty chair. Comment sections usually split between armchair psychiatrists and conspiracy buffs merged under a single conclusion. Maybe the wildest explanation had been true all along. Back inside, Britney plumbed darker depths. Quiet punishments for questioning meds. Freezing room temps. Revoked calls with her boys. They dangled motherhood on a string, she whispered. Defense counsel closed his binder early. Rumor said he advised Diddy to settle. Too late. Next morning, a former nightlife promoter testified. He'd received texts from a Combs liaison instructing security to steer Britney away from cameras if she faltered. No EMT. He produced logs. Metadata led to TriStar printers. Defense groaned. A pharmacologist outlined symptoms of involuntary CNS depressants, disorientation, amnesia, muscle weakness, mirroring Britney's timeline. Her body told the story first, he concluded. The prosecution rested. Closing arguments clashed like rival sermons. Prosecutors painted a pop star as a human ATM. Pen withheld. Defense blamed fame's pressure, but corroboration hung heavy. Deliberations were swift. Verdict: guilty on conspiracy to tamper witnesses. Guilty on financial fraud. Guilty on unlawful surveillance. Diddy slumped, shackled pending sentencing. Gasps morphed into cheers outside. Giant screens echoed justice. Britney exhaled, eyes dry. Smile small but defiant. Media dubbed it Britney's revenge. She ignored buzzwords. Her war was for authorship, not vengeance. Sentencing followed weeks later. Combs condemned to watch his empire shrink from a cell. The world kept spinning, but spin doctors lost their grip. Congress announced conservatorship hearings. Labels issued ethical pledges. Britney donned a Navy suit, delivered a victim impact statement that doubled as manifesto. You can kidnap autonomy, she said, but not spirit, unless spirit hands you the weapon. She thanked whistleblowers, forgave her silent self, and walked into daylight. No bodyguards, no scripts, only freedom. That evening, fans danced outside the courthouse, portable speakers blasting her early hits. Britney laughed, bright, unscripted sound. Weeks later, she released a piano ballad called Unlocked. Critics called it raw, bruised, triumphant. She called it breathing. Yet she never discarded the 2009 letter tucked inside a microphone-shaped locket. It remained scar and shield, proof that a caged voice can still draft destiny while the ink is drying. Somewhere in a quiet cell, a man who once curated VIP lists counted days, haunted by her words. You started this. I ended it. Outside, sunrise swept the courthouse columns gold. The survivor walked away, heels tapping freedom's rhythm, leaving an industry scrambling to rewrite its own chorus.